It's that time again, boys. It's that time again.
Which time again?
Denver Nuggets basketball.
4:30 time again?
Oh, get out of here.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
We're pre-gaming here. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the pregame show.
Let's go.
Coming to you live from the DNVR bar and the Toyota Lounge, driven by your Front Range Toyota stores. Toyota, the official vehicle of DNVR. Feels good to be back, man. Anytime you're off.
So roomy in this Toyota Lounge.
I know.
Nice and roomy.
A little extra room today.
Yeah, a little
I did
extra arm
miss
room.
a couple Nuggets losses. Whenever you're off the show, you know, I didn't miss a banger. You know, didn't miss
You
like
did
an all-time.
You didn't actually. You did not.
But I'm back right in time for one.
You missed some good White Lotus talk on the Losers Lounge a couple nights ago.
Man, I do miss that, man. I do enjoy
you
myself
missed
some White Lotus. Brennan Votes in the house.
Man, I was thinking about this. If the team is bad enough, like, could we just not do an air horn? Like, would we have to not do an air horn? Like, can the Bulls guys do one? I'm just curious.
That's a really. I don't want to ever find out.
I don't want to
don't
either.
want to find out.
I never want to go back.
D-Line Co is not here.
He's not, man. We've been wondering where he is. I don't think he's down at the bar. I've shouted his name out a couple times. No response.
Face down in a ditch somewhere.
Is he upstairs? I mean, I don't know.
We don't know.
If you've seen him.
If anybody's seen
If
D-Line,
anybody's seen him, send him back
put
to
a
us.
note in the Toyota chat where he is, because we're wondering.
The man with the wind in his hair is here, Harrison Wind.
I feel like we should all just switch to sitting on personal couches.
Our own
instead of
couches?
chairs. Yeah, this is way better. Like, I can put just my laptop on the chair right here.
If he doesn't show up for the post game and it's bad, we'll have you lay down like you're
Perfect.
in therapy.
Yeah, like a
You know,
therapy.
just
do
like
it,
really
yeah.
let it out.
I'll do it.
Nuggets are taking on the Houston Rockets tonight. Houston Rockets have been streaking. We're gonna have some game notes here, but I'm gonna start with one for you. And this comes of Dan Hyatt, who does stats for Altitude.
Sure.
Houston Rockets are on a 9-game win streak.
Jeez.
The Nuggets this year have snapped a 6-game win streak from the Atlanta Hawks, 2 7-game win streaks against the Oklahoma City Thunder and Golden State Warriors, and then 1 8-game win streak. That was, of course, the Detroit Pistons. This would be the first 9-game win streak they'd snap if they were to snap it.
They've snapped a lot of
Interesting.
losing streaks as well.
It's so true.
One way or another, they're going to snap a
How
losing
many
streak. Could be
wins do
their
the
own
Wizards
streak.
have this year?
It's like 12 or something, I think.
And the Nuggets are 2 of them.
I know. It's
God, man.
You guys' vibes down
look,
so bad.
What's going on?
I just need a good win, man. I need a good
Look,
win.
man, at this point in the season, we kind of know who this team is, and who this Nuggets team is they can absolutely surprise us when we don't think it's coming.
But tonight, you guys don't think it's coming.
That's the key.
No, I think it could be coming. Of course it could be coming.
That's a strong take.
That is a strong
yeah.
take.
It could also not be coming.
Okay, well.
That's what we know about this team right
Thanks
now.
for tuning in, everybody. That was the pregame show. We got you set.
But Houston's been playing really well, man. They just beat the Heat,
Well,
102-98. They just beat the Magic, the 76ers, the Bulls, the Mavs, the Suns. So actually not, this is the classic NBA winning streak.
Yep.
Just whenever you play the bad teams.
the best wins they have are 2 wins over the Orlando Magic. And the Orlando Magic, they lose to a lot of teams. They're very inconsistent.
What's interesting, though, Fred VanVleet, 37 points in this last game.
Pretty
We
good.
know how bad the Nuggets defense has been, especially as of late. Slowing down him and Jalen Green. Like, that's probably where it starts defensively for Denver today. Nikola Jokic is out again. That's the big injury news for the Nuggets. Michael Malone had this to say pregame. He said he doesn't think Jokic will play tomorrow. The Nuggets are on a back-to-back in Houston tonight. They're at home tomorrow against the Bulls. He doesn't think he'll play in that game. But he said Jokic will play at some point during the upcoming 5-game homestand. Malone mentioned the Nuggets want to get their starting lineup tied together before the playoffs.
That's awesome. There's plenty of time, so.
I just laugh at that because the Nuggets have not been a good team when their starting lineup has started games this season.
Yeah, but they're really bad without Jokic.
That part of it is true. But yeah, this 5-game homestand coming up after today: Chicago, Milwaukee, Utah, Minnesota, San Antonio. Michael Malone believes Jokic will play at some point during that stretch.
So we're going to talk about Jokic, by the way, a little bit later. So let's put a pin in that, because if you were in the DNVR Discord last week, I actually put that in there, that I thought Jokic might not be back anytime soon. And by anytime soon, I meant in the coming games. I do expect him maybe at the end of the week next week or something like that. But another reason to become a DNVR diehard. But to wrap up the game notes here, they're the 13th best offense. They're the 3rd best defense. They're known for their defense. They lock you up. Their first and second chance points. Anybody watch that last game?
I did. Why do you mention second chance points, though?
I just
I'm
thought
confused.
I thought it was a thing that stood out in that game.
Well, don't worry. It's not like they're first in offensive rebounds and rebounds per game as well. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
It was crazy watching Denver not rebound against Portland in that last game, man. It was crazy, as in absolutely infuriating. You always see this sometimes where teams will have a good quarter rebounding the ball, and it's like the whole team locks in. Like, all right, that's the pressure point. Denver never locked in there.
Literally never did it.
They just kept giving up second chance points. So tonight, very concerned with that. Second chance opportunities. They're 6th in fast break points, 10th in points in the paint, and they don't allow you those things. They don't give up fast break points or points off of turnover. So they are they're like not a good offensive team. So they just cut out the margins on offense and then create the margins on defense.
I really wonder, going back to the rebounding point, do the Nuggets dust off DeAndre Jordan at all throughout the rest of the season, or tonight? They're trying to pigeonhole Zeke Naji into this backup 5 spot again. Shocker, it's not working.
So terrible.
Especially without, any minutes at the 4 next to Jokic. Like, how have we not figured out that doesn't work for him by now? I wouldn't be opposed to getting DJ back out there, especially, for games like this. I know Houston can sometimes be a little bit small off the bench. I don't even think they really play a traditional backup center. Actually, no, they do. Steven Adams.
Yeah, big Steven Adams.
So, yeah, I would think this would be the perfect type of game for DeAndre Jordan. It's been weird to me how he's just vanished. I think he was tiring out a little, and just the fatigue was setting in around, the midpoint of the season when he was in the rotation a lot. But it's been a little weird how we just have not seen him since.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's just he's not part of the playoff plans. They're just give Zeke the runway, but the Zeke part of what was working so well for the Zeke minutes was that he was playing harder than everyone, and he really didn't in that last game.
Man, he had that one play where the ball was on the floor. I didn't see the watch along. Were you guys screaming? I was screaming.
Yeah.
I was
Najee
furious.
Of all people on the roster, like you have to hit the deck for that.
But man, I wonder if it's really this simple. He just loses all self-confidence and himself when he plays backup center.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's just it.
Yeah.
Because this looks like the old Zeke again.
Yeah,
in every facet of his game. Like not playing as tough, the hustle not being there, just not being as poised. This is the old Zeke Naji. It's also coming when he's playing backup center. I don't know if that's a coincidence or not. Maybe.
Yeah. The game matters for the standings. The Rockets are 2 games up of Denver for the 2 seed. I don't think Denver's catching them, but if you lose tonight, for sure, only 11 games to go. There'll be 10 after this one. So if you lose tonight, you can go ahead and kiss that one goodbye. Also, if you lose tonight, you fall to the 4 seed. So you'll be in that 4 or 5 with Memphis, which again might not be the worst thing, but it does pit you as well as only 2 games up on Golden State. I mean, to me, 2, 3, 4, I personally don't care that much. Tim Legler laughed at me for saying this, by the way, on the show the other day, because it's just like home court. My belief is that if the Denver Nuggets are going to be good or make a title run, and they have not shown us that this year, in my opinion, but if they are, it's going to come together in the first round of the playoffs. Like, finish strong when everybody gets healthy, but they will concretize in the playoffs because they've done it every year. First round's always a little shaky, then they get better. If that happens against the Memphis Grizzlies, all right. Hope is still alive. Correct. If you have to beat one of these other teams that's really good in the first round, just be like, I don't know if they're ready.
And I don't know if you beat anybody if you're not healthy and somewhat rested and somewhat energized.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you can feel confident in the Nuggets beating anybody in the first round if they're the team that we see right now. Obviously, no Jokic, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, if he's hurt, right? Like, this isn't just rest. So you need to sit him. You need to get him healthy. The problem is not a ton of margin for error, and you start losing a couple of winnable games, and all of a sudden it's like, are you even going to make the postseason? Now, I think they will, but that is sort of some of the other side to this, like playing the younger guys all year, like or resting guys all throughout the year. Like this team actually didn't have a ton of margin for error, and like if they didn't keep their foot on the pedal earlier in the year, they'd be in a really, really precarious position right now. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying they've done a good job handling the season, but I just think it's like, I would say the counter to the Booth thing has always been they're on a razor's edge of falling to the play-in if they don't play those 5 guys a ton.
So if you look at the standings, to me, they are almost perfect at this very moment. They change every day. But if you look at it right now, Minnesota's the 8 seed. I'd love a Minnesota-OKC first-round matchup. Put those two teams up against each other. You got the Clippers who are in the 7 seed. Would they play the Rockets? Okay. The only difference here is Memphis, if they were to fall to the 6 seed and Denver stays at the 3, that would be, to me, the perfect bracket.
Yep.
Yeah.
Golden State and LA in the 4-5, so they're going to play the winner of the Timberwolves with Thunder. That's, to me, the 4 tough teams. Put them all on the same side of the bracket. Give Denver Memphis. Again, no disrespect to Memphis, but it also gives them a potential matchup with the Houston Rockets or LA Clippers in round 2. I would like that, but it does make me wonder, are we sure the Rockets, who are on a 9-game win streak, are we sure they're a good matchup for Denver?
Well, it's all relative. I think I would consider them a better matchup for Denver than a lot of the other teams just because of playoff experiences and horses, as we keep saying. I mean, on paper, it's not a good matchup for Denver, right? This is a good offensive rebounding team, good effort team, scrappy physical defensive team when they want to be, all the things that give Denver trouble. But I also think if you get into a playoff series and it's like Sengun, Thompson kind of combo as your best player versus Jokic, I would take that from the Denver perspective, but I get where you're getting. I mean, nothing's really guaranteed for this team right now. And as we will see tonight, there's a lot of overlap with what Houston does well and what Denver does not.
It's also just the experience.
Yeah.
And I think over the last couple of years, I mean, the playoffs have always been very different than the regular season. I almost feel like over the last couple of years, they're even more different. And you just look at this Rockets team, Green, Sengun, they just have a lot of guys who have not been through the battles and been through the wars in the playoffs. Nuggets have. And if you have any confidence in this Nuggets team whatsoever, it's because they've been there.
Yeah.
And they've had their ups and downs. They've been at the highest moments and the lowest moments in the playoffs with this core. And that's something Houston just hasn't done. And that, to me, means a lot.
They're very well coached. I think they execute defensively at an incredibly high level, and they have some super defenders. Like, it's not just, they execute. They have guys that can shut you down. I think Jamal Murray could have a difficult time against Dylan Brooks, Amen Thompson. I think those are a couple guys that you could throw at him. But to your point, everybody's defense should go up in the playoffs. Doesn't always happen, but should go up. Mm-hmm. I don't know if Houston's will. I think that they're a team that it might goes up a little bit, but less so than most teams. And offensively, I'm just not sure if they go up quite a bit. So. Yeah, I saw the starters too. We'll hold on it. But so I think that there is something there as well about if I have to worry about Fred VanVleet and Jalen Green, like that's who you have to shut down. It's like Denver, if you can't do that, you don't belong in this, advancing. Yeah. So I actually do think that they are a decent matchup. No, I'm sure they look at Denver and think that's a decent matchup. They can't guard anybody. That's very fair.
I don't think anybody's really scared of Denver like they used to be.
Yeah.
There is the Jokic factor, of course, but I don't think other teams are scared of the rest of this roster really at all. Unless you're the Lakers and talking about Jamal Murray. But
yeah, but even then, I mean, I don't know if the Lakers are worried about Denver right now.
In a close game.
We do have the starting lineup come out, and a little bit of a surprise. DeAndre Jordan is getting the start.
A little bit of a surprise.
It's not a surprise to me. I told you, number 1 in second chance points.
I mean, DeAndre Jordan hasn't played in a month.
Not a surprise to me. Michael Malone looks at that and goes, I'm not putting the team out there after that Portland game to watch the other team get 40 second chance points.
I mean, from that perspective, yes. I can see the thinking, obviously. DeAndre Jordan at center, Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter, Christian Brown, Jamal Murray. Interesting.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I do. You needed more rebounding. You needed just more length, strength inside. Look, DeAndre Jordan.
I'm going to take Fred VanVleet points, though.
I'm going to take Fred VanVleet jumpers off the pick and roll.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's going to be a pick and roll jumper.
Yeah. I mean, we know who DeAndre Jordan is. Like, he's not that great at this point in his career. He's going to give you what he's got. but he will get some rebounds. That's something he will do. Like I'd be betting DeAndre Jordan over in rebounds tonight. He'll probably get 10 plus. And you needed that, especially after how these last couple games have gone. I mean, it's just been unacceptable. Like the lack of rebounding, just the lack of discipline there has been terrible, and they obviously need something to change.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I do, because, I mean, like, I understand. I also deployed logic earlier in the show of, look, if they're going to go with Zeke, they're just going to keep trying to play him. But the game didn't just go a certain way last game. Malone got up there and was furious about it, right? And, like, I think it'd be a little silly to go on that whole rant and then change nothing.
Yeah.
So from that perspective, I do get it. But I will say I'm a little shocked that it's just right to DeAndre Jordan. You know, could have been Zeke at 4 and Gordon at 5 again, that kind of deal. But I understand, like, you need someone to box out and get some defensive rebounds here, so they're going to go with size. And as you said, you hope it doesn't kill them in the pick and roll on the other end. Spoiler alert. It will.
It probably will, man. That'll be
I don't think this move makes the Nuggets better defensively.
Right,
Definitely does not do that. Probably makes them worse. But rebounding is definitely an issue that maybe is more easily addressed.
So Russ off the bench again then, is that right?
Yes.
Yep.
So Russ off the bench again, huh? Maybe that gives them a punch, though, off the bench. A little bit of dynamic, play. I have no idea, man. Michael Malone clearly reaching for something.
And you're
with
also
this team.
coming off a bad Westbrook game, too.
Yeah, he was really rough.
The turnovers.
He was really rough with those turnovers.
Part of that just seemed to happen like naturally. It became the Russell Westbrook show because it didn't look like Jamal Murray was interested in making it the Jamal Murray show.
Yeah.
Like Jamal just kind of shifted into the background, come back from the injury. Maybe that's it. But maybe he's feeling a little better tonight and can kind of take on more of the offense.
All right, there you go. Nikola Jokic not in the lineup, though, tonight. And, it's quite a while now for him to be out by his standard, especially without an update. Usually we kind of know exactly when it's going to be. This one, I first caught wind, it might have been 2 games back, where it was like, I don't know, man, something's up. You start to hear some rumblings, and it's like, yeah, he'll be back before the playoffs, or he'll be back, he'll be able to ramp up. And it's like, oh, well, I was thinking he was back Sunday. So, like, okay, that's not the case. So now you look at it and go, I don't know if this is, to me personally, a code red moment or not. It could actually be a blessing in disguise. Yokes had to carry this team all year. Some of these injuries or just wear and tear were inevitable, and I do think he's dealing with real injuries, not load management.
Yeah.
But part of me looks at it and goes, if he played every game, he didn't miss the games he already missed, he didn't miss any going forward, I'd be like, I don't know if Yoke's going to be his best in the playoffs.
I would be actually pretty sure he won't be.
There is such thing as too much time. And my hope is he's back by Friday, so like Friday home game going into the weekend. That would be my hope, because then you're like, all right, 10 games to go, 9 games, that's enough time. But how do you analyze this? And it could be a good thing that he gets the rest.
That is something I'm clinging to. I think the kids might call it copium.
You're coping right now?
I'm copium, bro. But I do. Yes, I mean, there's a lot too. Last year, at this time, they were grinding, and Jokic was playing even though he looked banged up, and they wanted every last win, and they still didn't get every last win. And we all know what our very vocal concerns were in the postseason about fatigue and rundown. So, look, if you keep your head above water and you finish with a top 3 seed and Jokic missed some time, yeah, you can talk yourself into that being some sort of silver lining. But everything right now is hope-based, and that is unfortunate.
I think it's definitely a good thing at this point. I mean, he's had to handle a ridiculous amount of responsibility, really from opening night through this point in the season. Yoke has never really been able to take his foot off the gas for that long this season. And, of course, that's going to wear on you. And so I feel like if the Nuggets are going to make a run, like this was almost a necessity, because it feels like he and a lot of other guys were just running out of gas, especially in the last couple of games that he played. So getting him this rest, I do think is a good thing. I do think it's a positive. And look, man, I mean, maybe the Nuggets are looking at it and being like, I don't know what's going to happen in the playoffs, but the number one thing we need is for Nikola Jokic to be his best self.
Yeah.
And this is the thing that needs to happen right now for that to happen in the playoffs. And so, like, seeding, let's just be like a top 4 or 5 seed. But the more important thing is Nikola Jokic being rested. That's the number one thing.
Yeah.
And everything else is way further down the list.
I think there's another hidden silver lining that could come from this, and that is we still don't know who the 9 real guys are.
Oh, God.
We still don't know who the playoff guys are. And with Yoke out, a lot of guys get an opportunity. Now, inevitably, you might lose in some cases because of those guys. But I look at Peyton Watson. Do people have a ton of faith right now in Peyton Watson with how he's played a little over the last little bit? I don't think so. But he's forced to play right now in these moments where it almost feels, I'm not saying house money because you want to get wins, but it almost feels like, hey, get this out of your system. Go play heavy volume. You're in the rotation 25 minutes right now. Get that out. Jalen Pickett, another guy you just want to see. What does it have? Zeke Naji, maybe even Vlatko Chanchar. So I do see a silver lining of Denver is forced to play some of these guys that they might have to pick 1 or 2 of them by the time the playoffs come.
Yes, and sort of combine that with this sort of throw him in the deep end or the fire of you can't just wait for Jokic to win you every game.
Yeah.
You just can't. So now, granted, these have been bad reps, like reinforcing bad habits to this point, but could it just sort of be a boot camp in kind of getting over that and like taking ownership of the sense of urgency, whether that's scoring or just boxing out, not waiting for Jokic to do it. So, these are the things we're left with, right? Like as far as searching or scrapping for silver linings, but it's what you hope for. And in the past, when injuries have occurred, this can and has happened, right? Like you see guys step up. To this point, no one stepped up.
I know.
But there's, I suppose, look, this would be a big win if you get it and a couple of guys step up and play well, and I'd love to talk about that in the Winners Lounge.
Peyton Watson, Amen Thompson. Like, they're similar players. Amen Thompson's the A version of him. I mean, I don't know what Peyton Watson is. He the B, the C, the D version of Amen Thompson because we're not really quite seeing it right now, but he's a hell of a player. I'd love for that to be a battle tonight. Go out there and, like, really make that a battle. Make a statement. Zeke Naji. That play was so damning to me because that is the baseline prerequisite of Zeke Naji. You have to make 50-50 plays. You have to make those ones happen. It's the reason you're out there. So tonight, I hope it's a refocusing of the Nuggets to find, hey, this is playoff auditions.
Yeah.
I still don't know who it's going to be. Somebody make a name for yourself. Somebody, please.
Yeah, I mean, if that doesn't get guys playing hard, I don't know what will. I mean, the chance to be in the 9 real guys for the playoffs is a pretty great opportunity. But yeah, I just want to see the Nuggets play hard tonight. And if they do, I think the defense will follow after that. But the 50-50 balls, like you said, getting on the glass, rebounding. Rebounding is just about do you want to or do you not care?
Yeah,
Like,
it's the last effort of a possession.
that is what rebounding comes down to. Do you want to rebound? Do you want to box out? Or do you just want to half-ass it? And so if the Nuggets decide to do that, and then hustle, get on the floor, some 50-50 balls, play hard tonight, I think they could be in it. That's what it'll come down to.
Our pregame picks are presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app and use the code DNVR365. Deposit $10 and place a bet of $5 to get $150 in bonus bets. Must be 21 or older and physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. No superstar dev today. No D-line today. So we're going to the third stringer on bets tonight?
Yeah, I really want to stress. I really want to stress that you should bet responsibly.
Yeah.
But if you want to, you always can
call
play with us
or
here.
text 1-800-GAMBLER.
Yeah, but look,
They have a text thing too.
We do like to toss some bets out at Bet365, where it's never ordinary except for this here pregame segment. Kale, any chance you got a graphic ready? I do not blame you if you didn't.
He just dropped it in the slot.
Did you forget what your bets were?
No, I just couldn't. It was just kind of. It was so late. It was so late. All right. Well, I want to give you my first kind of fake devlock. Before you talk about the real bets, you like to talk about
The other side of things?
The other side of
Yeah,
things, and
the
it's
other
just
side of things.
it's just Thompson over rebounds. I think it's 8.5.
Well, you got to start with the spread here.
What is the spread?
7.5.
7.5.
Houston 7.5 point favorites. Is that fair?
Yeah,
That's a lot of points,
Yeah,
man.
no, it's fair, and I wouldn't.
The full strength 2 seed against the Nuggets without Jokic.
I wouldn't touch it, to be honest. You can say it's a lot of points. I don't want anything to do with
Does
it.
that team have no pride?
So I
They
think
you
what's
suck without
I think
Jokic.
what's happening here is Adam's a little more optimistic because he wasn't on the show
100%.
last game.
That's
100%.
exactly what's
I swear to
happening.
God, I was thinking about this when I was watching the Losers Lounge from Dallas. I was kind of like, man, it's so different when you don't have to talk about it.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. You just turn your phone off. You're
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
watch a
man.
TV show.
It
It's
really was.
crazy.
I was kind of like, man, it doesn't feel this bad. I was like, oh, that's because I'm not talking about what happened.
But in honor of Dev, here's my Houston pick, because you know he likes to pick one bet for the
does.
other team. Amen Thompson, 8.5 rebounds, over -110.
Might just own the boards tonight.
Yeah, he might.
Come
man.
on, P. Watt.
What's Jalen Green's points at?
Let's look at that. Jalen Green's points are
Oh my God, we have a picket line, 3.5 points.
Ooh, a picket line.
Jalen Green's points are
take the
21 and a
picket
half. 21 and a half.
I'll take that.
He's going to take it. On the Nuggets side of things, can you pull that graphic back up? Mike 3 is over 2.5 plus 110. You knew I was going to do it.
you were.
It's part of the brand. Also, he did it last game.
I like it though. I like it.
So, you know, honestly, what I really want to see from Mike tonight is just want the ball. Go get the ball, man. Go get it. Want it. Player prop. This was before I saw the starting lineup, so adjust this accordingly. Westbrook over 6.5 assists. This was a flyer.
still get it.
With juice on plus 110. Again, Westbrook not in the starting lineup, so maybe something to consider. That's a good
I'll look
question.
right
I'm going
now.
to take a look at it right now. And it has changed. It's now 4.5. No. It's still 6.5. Still 6.5. Look, maybe he does it. It's Russ. You know, he's high volume with the ball in his hands as a playmaker. And then our lock of the game, really the only thing you can bet on right now with Jokic out on the Nuggets side, and that is Aaron Gordon stepping up. So will he score 20 points again? Will he clear 17.5 points? That is -115 right now at Bet365, where it's never ordinary. Download that app. Use the code DNVR365 and consider taking this lock. Aaron Gordon over 17.5.
I sprinkled in a Jalen Pickett 0.53s, -115. I like it. I love the bets that are 0.5. You only have to root for one of them.
What I missed we should get back on like the hoping Peyton makes 1-3 a night kind
I
of
know.
thing. You know those little
I
things
know.
that just
You got to get back on it.
keep us going. You know.
All
what
right,
I mean?
Nuggets are in Houston. We have any super chat scale? Nope. All right, well, Nuggets are in Houston to take on.
We're on the watch along tonight
Woo!
again.
Oh, we are.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Every game, baby.
You ready? It's been
everybody
awesome.
hit that like button on the way out. We'll see you over there.
Let's go.